it's just to let you know the universe does present the answers and lets you know where you're at. Have I really been healed from this? It's going to put this person in your path and see how you behave, how you feel, then you know. That's what the testaments are about. Okay, so there we are. And then you can create. Right. So we saw how 10 has behaved. So we look at this and we also know that we have done 1 1 because it's 1 1. If we did 1 1, we get 7 plus 7. And of course, 7 plus 7 is 14 and 14 is 5. So we see how you can find yourself at the central point becoming new. Find yourself. This is where Christian says, when you're in Christ, you are a new creature. And this is the creature right here. This is when you become a snake. Now, a snake can be kind and it can be quite dangerous. So, maybe it's about how you handle the snake, how you are, but you become that. As you can see, 5 has a masculine part to it and a feminine part to it. So that's another thing. We have touched on that, but we can touch on this another time. So we can see how sexual can actually create where you can find that sense of wholeness. It can take you home in the womb. It can take you to the pyramid. It could take you in your house. It could take you to, the chamber, because all of this is 5 and sexual is key. The word key is 5. So this is creation right here. Okay. So let us look at, because we also did, so we have seen how sexual actually, that's creation, because we saw this in Genesis of chapter 1, verse 3, let there be light, and there was light. We see how 12 plus 12 becomes 24, and we see how 2 plus 4 is also 6. We know when we do the numerical value for the word 5, it gives us 6, because the gift was given of words and numbers. Words and numbers to get the full essence of any number, because we verbalize when we speak the word. We say 5. Are we talking about the numerical, the figure, or the word? So we need to look at both masculine and feminine aspect of language, which is the gift that we have been given, so you can get the full essence of how it plays out. Hence, we have the snake, the serpent. Okay. Of course, we saw 1 1 is serpent. The 2 serpents come together, they make a tree. Okay. So let's look at, we know now, there's the other thing. So, I'll just stick 5 here. We had 20. This is 2, 9, 1, 3, 4, 1. And I was so hoping to make this a short video, but let's see. So this is 10, 15, and this is 20. Remember, it does remind me of another sexual encounter, which was my stepfather, and like my father, because I grew up with my father, so there was incest in my family as well. But I remember writing about the story in this volume of both volumes of the Crimson Light, volume 1 and 2, and he was a road maker. And I remember thinking that he perhaps had taken on the perception that he had to open the way of his daughters, so to speak, as a road maker, because he was a road constructor. So he didn't only put this into the actual road construction. I think he just took this at all levels as possible. So I tend to remember this because the word road equals 20. Now, you could see why the word road equals 20 as well, because I think it's also, trauma is also of 6, Isn't this amazing here? It's also of 6 letters. So we have 6, 6. That's 12. This is what we're talking about. And you can see creation because everything is vibration. So there we have everything that creates to create. So the road, which is 20, here is 20. So let's look at and use the same format we did here. So 2 TWO equals 13. Okay, for those of you who are new to numerology, I tend to want to take a shortcut because of time. Okay, all right, so it's 20. We add this up and it's 20. 2, 9, 1, 3, 4, 1. Okay, 10, 15, 20. So TWENTY is 725552. Okay, so this is 15, this is 22, 24, 26. 2 plus 6 is 8. I'm just wishing I could get rid of this light glaring on here for you. So 26 is 8. Now, you may have watched my first video on this. It's always about food. It's a form of eating. The word eat or eat equals 8. And this is what trauma, because if you eat something, it takes all this work on your body to digest what you eat. It's an activity. It's an ingestation. So 8, ATE, or EAT, EAT, or even when we have TEA. All of this is why we have all these rituals around food. Christianity has so many rituals around food. Now, not only that, it is based on the story of Christ. Christ broke bread and gave to his disciples. What was it? 21. I said 21 in broke bread because bread is 21, blood is 21. 2 plus 1 is 3, because we are talking about creation. And I want you to understand that the vibration and the energetic values of hair, BREAD, and blood, BLOOD. Now these are 5 letters, but that also comes with that 10 that we are talking about. So that value or is still transmitted in or transformed in that format. So, but we see 2 B's. The B's are very, very powerful words or letters rather, because they're like 13. So we have blood, because he gave wine and bread. So bread, oh, I said this is my flesh and this is my blood. So let's just look at bread and blood. And we could look at other things as well. But I'm just showing you that this here, which is 2, 3, 6, 6, 4, this is 10, 19, 21. This is 3. 21 is 3. And bread, of course, is this is 5, 10, 21, also 21. So this is also 3. So I am doing this to show you the how if that was ritual. And when we are speaking about eating, Christianity, they would have repeat that ritual that Jesus Christ, in many of the churches, certainly the ones I was in, would have this ritual. Again, it's about the blood. Now, go back to 8. So this is why Christ ate the same eating that Adam and Eve ate. There was the eating, the ingestation of eating. There was places, of course, in the scriptures where God gathered or told Aaron to gather the people, give them food, and then he slaughtered them afterwards. You know, there's just so much about the famine of food, and there's that thing, it's like, it's about food. Okay, but that's another episode. Okay, so we see 8 or 8 or T all equals 8. Now 8, of course, is one of the gods. which is the Set God. This God, you hear of him in other, like Set and his brother, the mythical god Set, okay, which is the sun. Okay. So we have Set and Osiris, okay, so 5, 2, and this gives you 8. So I'm seeing or hoping that this gives you a good indication of how trauma itself, as in the numerical value of 8, is a set. It actually has the seed to create after its kind because it's whole. It represents a template. Remember, with 3 you can become whole and of course create a new set. So here we have 3 this way, 3 that way, 3 this way, of course W, and this becomes like a flower, but you want to create your own petal flower. Right. Now, there was something else I was feeling from this sexual trauma that I wanted to bring your attention to. So we have sexual, we saw sexual did get how we got 5 with sexual as well. Okay. So let's just do this again. 6, 3, 1, 3. And we know that that gave us 10. 10. Okay. So let's take this off so you're not too confused about this, but we could see how we had 1, just going over this, and then we had trauma, trauma. Of course, this was 20, of course, and we could say 30, but it's 3. Okay. 3, we see 3 is creative, and of course it's the W. And so yes, I was going to add about breaking Adam. This is what I wanted to say. So we had there was Adam, they was sent or planted, but here we had with Moses. This is what I wanted to come back to with Moses, who equals 17. Now remember, this is the important bit I really want to stress here, that 8 is the God. God is meaning you and God, the within, without. Okay. Then we had Abraham, Abram, Abram. That's also, or it's just like if we were doing God. Again, this is 7, 6, 4 is also 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. Now we have lots of stories like this. So Moses, all of those actions were happening here. They were creating. Moses were creating a new people. Abraham creating a new people. And this is what the burning was about, a new people. Burning and blood. So we'll touch on this again, because I would like to also speak on how the rituals and how I feel that the scriptures have been interpreted in ways that really permeates that kind of thinking, that people actually had gone into or having sex with their children as the firstborn, particularly as a form of sacrifice. So we'll cover that as we go along, and other areas, and how, of course, because if it was done as a ritual, that meant they were planting a seed that would go on for generation to generation. So, thank you for watching. I hope you will subscribe if you haven't subscribed to Crime Queen. And this is where, of course, we break down the barriers committing our crimes, but for self-love. Thank you. Stay ignited.